In Kishinev, in 1877, a boy named Samuel Zamure was born. A few years later, he moved to the United States. He grew up in Selma, Alabama, where he began to work for his uncle, who had a country store. When Sam got a little older, he started working at the docks at the port of Mobile. And one day, he saw a crate of bananas sitting on the dock. The bananas were ripe and were left there to rot. Sam grabs the bananas, takes them to some local stores, and sells them, makes a profit. In a few years' time, the enterprising Samuel Zamure is importing in bulk bananas from across Central America and distributing it throughout the Southeast. A few years later, Sam takes the profits that he's earned from his banana importing business and he buys a bankrupt steamship company and he sails to Honduras. Now, Honduras is not a safe place. There's no extradition from Honduras, and so it's a place infested with criminals. And this does not faze Samuel. After 5 years of living in Honduras, he has acquired 5,000 acres of banana plantations, built a private railroad to the port. His influence in Honduras is growing. So much that when the presidency threatened to shift to someone who wasn't going to be friendly to Samuel's banana company, the Cuyamel Banana Company, Sam organized a coup. He sent a ship filled with weapons and soldiers to the capital city, and that would-be president fled. Eventually, Samuel brings other people into the business, like his father-in-law, Jacob Weinberger. Jacob hires scientists, agronomists, the best money could buy, to analyze how to produce better fruit. Before long, the Cuyamel Company is producing the best bananas the world has ever seen. At that time, the largest banana company in the world was the United Fruit Company. And they start to get a little concerned when they see this upstart Cuyamel, Sam's company. And so they offer to buy out the competition. And Samuel agreed on the condition that he become the largest stockholder in the parent company. So if United Fruit will pay him enough stock that after the transaction, Sam is the majority shareholder of United Fruit, then he'll agree. And that's what happened. The Great Depression hits. United Fruit falls on hard times. Sam moves in, takes over the reins. Under the leadership of Sam the Banana Man, the United Fruit Company became the largest employer in Guatemala, Honduras, and Costa Rica, owning 3 million acres of banana land, farms, plantations, 1,500 miles of private railroad, the single largest agriculture company in the world. But that's not all United Fruit accomplished. Under Sam's leadership, the way United Fruit took care of its workers was unprecedented at that time. This is a time when in the United States of America, people were working in sweatshops, 12, 16 hours a day. But Sam Zamure's employees in Central America were taken care of. The United Fruit Company built and operated 237 schools for its employees and their families, 15 hospitals. The United Fruit Company under Sam from Kishinev, under his leadership, this Jew from Kishinev, the United Fruit Company was the largest private welfare system in the world. Eventually, Sam devoted all of his time to philanthropy, and by the time of his death in 1961, his personal fortune was estimated at about $30 million. He had given away over 90. Where does it come from? This Jewish drive to give, to care for others, to be charitable, to take a private company and use it to create the largest welfare system in the world. Well, we have it in this week's Parsha. People are called upon to give to the building of the Mishkan, and they respond with such overwhelming support that Moshe needs to say, stop. He needs to make an announcement. Stop giving, it's too much. But where does it come from? We say 3 times a day, V'yahavta es Hashem Elokecha, you love Hashem your God, b'chol levavcha, with your heart, b'chol nafshecha, and with your soul, meaning with your body, b'chol moldecha, and with your money. These are the 3 dimensions along which we connect to God, connect to godliness, bringing godliness into our lives. And sometimes it's hard to feel in your heart that flame, that passion, that connection. And sometimes your body doesn't want to stay on that path. And Baruch Hashem, all of us here are dedicated to Torah and mitzvos. Not everyone is able to meet that standard. But the last dimension, the last way to connect to Hashem and to bring godliness into your life is b'chol ma'odecha, is through your money, is by giving. Because anyone, no matter how far you've gotten, no matter how far your heart or your head might be from what you consider godliness, you can always write a check. You can always give. And when you give, you're being godly. Because God is everything, has everything, needs nothing, cannot take. Everything, all of creation, the whole universe is one act of giving. And so when we give, we're transforming ourselves from an animal that is selfish, that takes, to something godly. And we're bringing godliness into our life. And that can open the door for it to spread to the dimensions of the nefesh and the leiv, to our body, to our heart. The Sfas Emes explains this is the reason that after the Chet HaEgel, after the Jewish people fell with the golden calf, worshipping an idol, after that, give them the mitzvah of tzedakah, machatzis hashekel. Let them give, because the high esoteric intellectual ideals, they're wavering, they faltered. But let's give them this. This is a way, a Pesach, an opening, a foothold for them to bring godliness, to bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu back into their lives. And that's why we read the Parsha of Shekalim right before Nisan. Because Nisan is a time of redemption. Nisan is a time when HaKadosh Baruch Hu and godliness is everywhere. It's the times of Geula, the times of Mashiach are the times when godliness is everywhere. And truth and clarity and that purpose permeates us in every fiber, in everything that we do. And that bliss of living with that truth, with that meaning, with the source of all life. But that's what redemption looks like. That's what it feels like. But to be prepared for that, you need to allow that godliness to build and to enter. And the way we create that space is the month of Adar, is Be'echad Ba'adar, on the first day of Adar, Mashmiyan al Ashkolim, there would be an announcement, let's give the shkalim. Let's start giving, because when we start giving, we start activating that godly part of ourselves, paving the way for Nisan. We say, Mishenichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. We all know the song, when Adar comes in, we get happy. Well, why do we get happy when Adar comes in? Is it because of Purim? If it's because of Purim, then we should start being happy when it's Purim. What happened in the beginning of Adar? So the Sfas Emes says, Zok the Sfas Emes, you know what happens on the first day of Adar? Be'echad ba'adar mashmi'in al hashkalim. On the first day of Adar, we start giving, and that makes you happy. Have you ever wondered why all these depressed billionaires start becoming philanthropists? Because they can walk around depressed without deriving real fulfillment. They've satisfied their surface level, animalistic level needs to take. But that doesn't satisfy who they really are. It doesn't give them deeper joy, because deeper joy, everyone is at Tzelem Elokim. And to activate that by giving, that creates simcha. So if a person wants joy in their lives, give. Give to each other, give to your communities, give to your families. Give to those in need. But it's not just joy that tzedakah creates. It's life itself. We all know. The Gemara says, Pasuk says, and the Gemara talks about tzedakah tatzil mimaves, that charity saves from death. And that doesn't just mean physical death, like the Gemara relates about a woman who was daughter of Rabbi Akiva, whose life was spared in the merit of the charity that she had given earlier that day. It's not just that physical life, it's spiritual life. You have people walking around and they're alive, but they're dead inside. They have no drive. They have no purpose. They're aimless. And all of a sudden they give, and they have chiyus again. Their name's on the wing of a hospital. They have a cause. They're dedicated to it. They're giving. They don't understand. That's how it works. The Vilna Gaon says the word machatzis, which we just read in Parshat Shekalim, it's just a few psukim, but the word machatzis appears 3 times. That is the word that sums up what tzedakah is all about, to recognize that I am but a machatzis. I am but a fragment. I'm not, the whole world is not just me. I'm a piece of something bigger, and I have to contribute to that bigger thing, that bigger purpose, that bigger people. So machatzis, half, is a word that sums up the essence of what tzedakah is, and the Vilna Gaon points out that there is a remez in the spelling of the word machatzis. The middle letter is a tzaddik, standing for tzedakah, mem, ches, tzadik, yud, saf. And on either side of the tzaddik is ches, yud, for chai, life. And on the outsides of that are mem at the front and saf at the end, mace. Tzedakah brings life close, pushes death away. And I see that with some of the people here in Shul. Like Sam the Banana Man, they travel all over the world dealing with people that are good and people that are tough. But wherever they are giving. They are bringing other Jews in, Jews from all over, to help give and enhance what they are doing and bringing a Kiddush Hashem, bringing godliness to wherever it is that they're operating. Could be Honduras, it could be Saudi Arabia. And so as we take in the month of Adar, let's make this a season of giving to those in need, giving to our communities, giving to each other, because that's going to give us joy. That's the real simcha. That's going to give us life, the chayim. And that is going to pave the way for the coming of Mashiach, for the times of Geula, with the coming of Nisan, B'mher v'yameinu.